I've been waiting for someone like you. I've been waiting. Can't believe I finally found you. Could you be the one I need? You're my obsession. You're my obsession. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for choosing to spend your evening, your Monday evening, with us tonight on stream. We got a great show for you tonight. It's week 4 of NACE Overwatch, and we got a great matchup today. The Saints taking on Bellevue. We got a really good one to tee it up. But we got two casters on the desk who are going to help me break this down. My name is Evan Johnson. I'll be the host tonight. But, of course, our two casters, we're joined by Patrick Smoke Chambers and Brendan Zero Clements. Gentlemen, welcome to the stream tonight. How are we feeling?
Well, thank you for having us. I mean, Evan, I'm feeling really, really good tonight. Again, week 4, team is undefeated, looking pretty good down the stretch, and against Bellevue as well. Some very interesting competition. Again, we were going through their rosters. Top 500 roster, but they lose 0-3 to Cumberland, a team that we just absolutely just ran over last week. So I get it, they're all top-ranked players, but I guess there's just levels to this. Either that or NACE is just lying to us, one of the two.
There definitely are levels to this, and we can kind of ask, we'll kind of break it down for both of you guys. On paper, again, Saints should have the advantage tonight.
Yes.
But again, like you said, top 500s all across the board for Bellevue. I'll start with you, Zero. How confident are you feeling in the Saints' efforts tonight? How are we feeling?
I'll say it's kind of hard to make an assumption, but I think St. Clair's got this one. I'm pretty confident in them. This is my first time actually getting to cast one of their games, so I guess I'm gonna really see for myself firsthand. But I got some confidence in them.
Man, you have a lot of fun to be seen. There's going to be a lot of it in front of you. I mean, if this is the first time you've really seen Tread cooking on tank, oh man, it's gonna be a fun ride. But again, thinking about just what the matchup looks like, right? Top 500 lineup, there are no slouches at all. So at the end of the day, look, maybe they just had a bad go against Cumberland, right? Maybe Cumberland just had their number. Maybe our players are just better, but we're going to find out at some point, aren't we?
Well, we are going to find out, and quickly, I might add, because we are rapidly approaching game time. We'll get a look at the Saints roster for this evening. It should be pretty similar to the usual comp that we're seeing. If you're a fan of our Overwatch streams, these names should be fairly familiar once we get to see them. But, some interesting things to talk about, because we have some players that might be subbing in depending on the map. We'll have to see how it goes. But left to right, Redix, Alex, Tread, Razor, and Juice. Like we said, this is a fairly standard composition for the team tonight. Soaks and Noxious going to be a bit more of a specialist type player tonight. Depending on the map, we might get to see either one of those players. Soaks for a Wu Yang specialist and Noxious for a Tracer. But we were talking to Robe and the coach before, and they said that they're only going to be using Noxious in aggressive Tracer situations. Now, Smoke, do you think we're going to be in a position to need that tonight? It does depend on the map picks that come through, but are we hoping to see make his debut on stream tonight?
I mean, yeah, I think everyone has kind of come to know the name Noxious if you've watched the stream for a little while. Again, ex-Team Canada for the Overwatch World Cup. Yeah, going to be used a lot in that Tracer-Reaper combo. We were talking to Robin, said he was one of the biggest ego players that they have, and for good reason. I mean, the man is simply sometimes unkillable when he really wants to be, right? I think I remember the first time we were streaming him, I literally just watched it was almost like solo effort of him just spawn-trapping the entire team that they were facing. I wouldn't be able to call back and remember who that was. That would have been 2 years ago, but either way, it was so damn impressive, and right from the get-go, after watching him in the Overwatch World Cup and then seeing that on stream for the first time, I knew he was a dog, and since then, he's just been absolutely flawless.
And you know what? I think it speaks to the depth of the team as well.
Yes,
when you have somebody at Noxious' skill level, like you said, former member of Team Canada, just being in the specialist role on the bench, that really just speaks to the depth of the team here. And speaking of the team, we have an interview set up. We're going to be speaking to one of the star members of the team. It's Redix. Redix, thank you for joining the show tonight.
Hello.
How does it feel to be back? We didn't see you last week, so how does it feel to be back with the main roster?
It feels great to be back with the main roster. Last week we had a little bit of a slip-up, so we weren't able to play, but I was there and I was supporting the team, I'm always there to support the team.
And that's huge, that support is big. And, obviously, you being back, you want to make a big impact tonight. What are you going to do specifically tonight to make sure that you make a big impact and contribute to the team tonight?
I'm going to go Lucio, and I'm going to click W, and I'm going to go into their spawn, and I'm going to play really fast, and I'm going to pretend like this 2 damage nerf doesn't exist. That's what I'm going to do.
We love to hear it. We absolutely love to hear it. And, we've been told by Tread last week, right, the last time this team played, that Soaks on Lucio wasn't really working all that well, He just said straight up that he sucks, and that's why he had to switch off of it on New Queen Street, and it didn't go so well for the boys. But now that you're back, right, this whole narrative that you guys just need a Lucio on New Queen Street, you guys will roll, right? Now that you're ready to go, do you also hate push on New Queen Street, or do you think that now that you're back, you're just going to be able to roll Bellevue on push?
I actually love New Queen Street. That's one of my favorite maps, but unfortunately, Philip doesn't know the strats, I guess, so we weren't able to win.
Tough. I was going to say, do you think you have it this week, though?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not worried.
You're rolling? All right, cool.
I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Very nice. I have a question for you as well. Lucio is one of your favorite characters. It's a very movement-heavy character, so I want to know what kind of practices do you get up into before your games to like get like warmed up on Lucio? Do you like get moving around on certain quick play maps or?
I just, well, 2 seconds ago I was just playing Genji in quick play, so no, not really. I saw this Japanese guy playing quick play on Genji, and I wanted to see if I was Thanos like him. Unfortunately, not enough. Not Thanos enough. Usually on Lucio, I just go in the practice range, I just wall ride around, but I play so much of it that the movement is just kind of like second nature to me. It's like, riding a bike, you never forget.
Well, hopefully it's like that tonight for you guys and the rest of the team. Good luck tonight. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. And good luck casting.
Oh, thanks.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll
Thank
definitely
you.
need it.
No one ever says good luck to us. I really appreciate that.
100%.
That was very nice.
That's
That
a
was
nice
very nice.
thought. And guys, we're so close to game time. We're just about a couple minutes out from game time, and I want to hear it from you guys. We talked about how confident you guys are both feeling in the team tonight, but I want to hear specific predictions. What do we think the scoreline is going to be tonight? How is this going to go down? Smoke, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this team has just been absolutely rolling. It's a lock on Kings Row if it ever goes there, right? A lock on Lijiang Tower. We've seen them start on Lijiang twice now, and they've just had no problem absolutely dogging teams on it every time. Again, struggles on push on New Queen Street, right? Threw it out last time they were on stream, lost it out to, I believe, Cumberland, and then I think that before that was even having troubles against a team that had like a diamond on their roster. So, again, it so far isn't their best map, although they're pinning struggles on the absence of the Lucio, right? So now that they have Redix back, I think regardless, honestly, just give it to St. Clair in 3. I got Saints in 3. I got them rolling. I could see a world where Bellevue takes maybe a map off of them, but nothing more than a 3-1. This one isn't going to 5.
I like that confidence. I like that. And Zero, what are you feeling?
Well, like I said before, this is my first time actually seeing them in action, so it's hard to make an assumption or an educated guess, but I do believe this is St. Clair's to win. I would say give me a 3-1, honestly. I mean, these are both teams with top 500 players. I think anything is truly possible.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. That's completely understandable.
And something to keep in mind, Bellevue, they're only 1-1. That win coming against University of Texas at Dallas, did lose to ISU as well. So not maybe as strong against the elite teams in the NACE Super Conference, able to take care of some of the middling teams. But again, a win is a win. They don't ask how, they ask how many in this case, right? So Bellevue will take that to the bank. But again, I think I agree with you what you guys are saying. I'm probably going to stick with you, though. I think it is going to be a 3-0 win for St. Clair tonight. I think despite the fact that Bellevue has this elite talent, and again, they do have some solid players. We were kind of breaking down, the potential team comps that they're going to be bringing to the table could be something that might lead to some disruption, but I don't think it's anything the Saints haven't seen before, and they should be able to take care of it pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think, don't get me wrong, there's so many different elements, right, to Overwatch, and it's not just really a 1v1 scenario, but it is such a big thing in Overwatch 2 to have an absolutely stand-your-ground tank that can play his life. And there's no one that's really better than that right now than Shred, in my opinion. I mean, the guy is just insane. Every time you see him, whether he's on Hazard, whether he's running it down on Doomfist, whether he's spacing out with D.Va, right? I mean, hell, we've seen the guy on Wrecking Ball. He cooks no matter what,
Doesn't
right?
matter.
So, again, at the end of the day, until I see someone really give him any challenge, my opinion is always just going to be that Tread is going to tank diff. And if you have a tank diff going on in Overwatch 2, it usually spells that your team can get behind that and then win. And then, chuck in the fact that, 3 of these players are just casually dilducks.
Yeah.
There's just too much talent on this roster. Give it to them. I think that if Avery comes out and tries running the D.Va and Tread just matches and does the same thing, going to be a long night at the office for Avery. Again, Raheem, Hutch, Ivory, Stone, these guys, it's just, there's levels to this. I think that is going to be at the end of the day of just there's levels to this. I know that Raheem plays Lucio. Again, we got a Lucio player too, and he's on a pro team. So, I mean, you say it however you want, but to me, I got to call it like I see it. Until I see them actually give St. Clair any trouble, I'm just going to go ahead and assume that St. Clair probably got this one in the bag.
No, I agree with what you're saying. And it all depends on how St. Clair starts, right? If it is Lijiang Tower on the start, if it is, they do have a very strong, penchant on that map. They do play King of the Hill very strong. So hopefully they can get off to that. Is there anything else, any other keys to the game we could say tonight for St. Clair? Anything else that they might need to do to make the victory just a little bit easier?
You got anything?
I had something to say on the last topic, so I wasn't ready to prepare something for this one.
Go for it.
I will say I am excited to see the tank player here, and I really hope he does pull out Wrecking Ball at some point because I'm a very casual Overwatch player. But when I do play, I play a lot of ball because I just find him to be such a silly, goofy, lovable character.
Yeah.
So I would love to see somebody who's actually good at ball just up there wrecking some stuff. I think that'd be awesome to see.
I'm telling you right now, the last time we saw Tread play Wrecking Ball on Kings Row, he literally, what was it? I think he
just ran into somebody.
There was a Tracer.
To finish
I want to say it was a Tracer, and just rolled the Tracer into a room. And I believe that Juice was just standing there as the Sojourn and didn't even fire at it. Just watched his Tread just backed up and just rammed as Wrecking Ball the Tracer just into the wall repeatedly. It was literally cyberbullying. So, I mean, if we do see that, that's some great content. I just don't think that that's going to be the case, though, because when I asked about that and through player interviews as well, usually Tread just plays ball when he's just trolling and having fun. So I don't think you're going to be trolling and having fun when Bellevue, you got to give credit to them. Again, all top 500 roster. I know referencing it a lot, but it's something to point out that is probably going to be why you're probably not going to see Wrecking Ball today.
I suppose we will see after the first 2 rounds. Maybe they run away with this one pretty easily, and then we get to see some ball action.
Yeah.
It all depends, like we said. It all depends on how the team starts tonight. Like, it all just starts with that first map and just making sure that the team is locked in mentally, locked in on all angles. And so far, I think, we were kind of just chatting with the team beforehand. They seem in high spirits. Everybody seems to be ready to go tonight. And again, just keep the ball rolling. We've had a great start to the Super Conference this year, undefeated as of now, knock on wood. Hopefully that stays the same. But yeah, these are the games that matter, like you just rack up some points, You got ISU and some of these other strong teams like kind of waiting for you near the end of the year, but now is the perfect time to just build up points and just try and stay near the top of the standings for as long as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it before. ISU being that last matchup means that you're going to have a lot of momentum going into it, so you just want to never stop building that up. You were talking about keys to victory, and I'm actually going to point out the fact that Tread on Hazard, to me, is a key to victory. I think that the number one thing to point out that they did really well last week, right, going up against Cumberland, and their matchup against UT of Dallas, right? I think that when we look at Tread on the Hazard, something that he does so well is he finds someone, whether it's a squishy or the other tank, to just separate them. They're so good, St. Clair, at separating targets and making them kind of stray away from a team in a team fight setting. Once they do that, that Hazard wall goes down, that player is done, dusted, you're up a pick on a team fight. I mean, it's something that we saw Tread do repeatedly over and over and over again, cutting off lines of sights from squishies, from their support players, right, so that they can't get healed in that moment. They got to get around. The wall also does damage, so it's like, it's just so many other factors that go into it, right? And Tread's never afraid to just leap on in there as Hazard as well and just get down and dirty himself with that wall, right? So, again, I think that that's something that this Overwatch team does so well, is just communicating on when they're walling with Hazard, what they do when that's going down, and who they're targeting. And I think just because of how good they are as a cohesive unit in moments like that, when they have those openings, they take advantage of them better than most teams do in the collegiate space. And to me, that's what puts them over everybody else.
No, you're absolutely right. And when you, like you said, when you talk about those 1v1 scenarios, if you're just looking at the St. Clair roster by itself, I would absolutely trust them in most 1v1 situations. You talk about Tread and just how impactful he is on the tank. Red X, so good with Lucio. He's talking about just running it down today. Like, he wants to be so aggressive. Like, we know what Juice can do, and Razor. Like, they're just so, everybody is able to make a play and just have, these big moments. And they're a very, very well-built team on paper. But
yeah,
not even just on paper, like in practice as well. Like we have all the tape, of just watching them just absolutely roll teams, at least early in this NACE Super Conference. So hopefully it goes well tonight. Zero, any keys to the game tonight? What should St. Clair do to make sure they get this W?
Well, my mind was actually on Juice, so
Yeah, then
yeah, yeah,
kind
for
of lost
sure,
track
yeah.
of that. But you mentioned Juice, and I will say I actually met him outside once and had a nice conversation with him. And he's a very down to earth guy, and very like easy to get along with. I was with some friends and we had a good conversation for a while, and I look forward to watching him play today because I want to see what he's like in game, because I know what he's like outside of the game, but I now want to see what he's like when he locks it.
Man, I mean, I can tell you right now firsthand, the guy is different. He's him. Hit scan, DPS, plays a whole lot of Sojourn. I think, Evan, I mean, if I'm remembering it correctly, we literally sat him down and asked him a bunch of different questions, and the answer to pretty much all of them was just Sojourn.
Sojourn, yeah.
Straight stone-faced killer, just Sojourn for everything. And, you know, the questions didn't even have to relate to the character. He just put it out there.
He knows what he likes, I guess, and he's, you know, hey, if
I mean, he got play of the game last week. What he had a
It's true, he
disgusting
did.
like,
He
what,
was-
quad
he
kill
was
on
our-
Kings Row earlier.
he was our MVP last week.
Yeah, I mean, the guy once he gets it going is just absolutely unstoppable, and I think his movement with that slide as well, and really good use of the ability with the snare. That's the other thing I want to point out as well. That Sojourn snare, when it's paired with that hazard wall, I mean, oh man, it just makes it even harder, right? Because it's like, okay, so you got the hazard wall doing damage to you. Then something that Juice will do that I've seen him do is he'll then put the snare right beside the wall. So if you're going to escape, you're just walking into even more damage. It's and by that being said, his crosshair as well, right? And once that man has you in his LOS, he does not let you leave without taking minimum couple body shots to a headshot. I mean, it's just automatic for the guy. The rail shots are insane, sublime. I'm telling you, Zero, you're in for a treat, bro.
I'm
you are
excited
in
to
for a
see
treat.
it. I'm truly excited to see it. I am like brimming with anticipation to watch these guys go and play this game. I mean, first time watching it, I am very excited to see this. I'm hoping for the best from them, and I hope we see it.
Well, hopefully we will see it fairly soon. I think we're just still waiting to hear from the teams when we're going to be getting into the game. I don't know if we're got some things on the other end we just got to figure out, but we will wait just a little bit longer to get into this match. They're in the lobby. We are waiting. We can get a quick view of the teams down on our TV below us. Looks pretty locked into me, although I don't know if Redix did his laundry this week.
Do we have
wearing
map
the white.
confirmed?
Redix
I just
wearing
saw
the
that,
white
yeah,
jersey.
He's wearing the white jersey.
Everyone else is wearing green. I don't know, man. I mean, shameful. I mean, sometimes you just got to be different, right? You know, you just got to be the one to just go your own way.
You
And
know,
I think Redx is doing that right now.
I mean, that's what he literally said he was going to do. Is he was just going to run it down as Lucio, not care what the team's
there
doing,
you go.
spawn trap him, right?
I will say, in volleyball, the libero wears opposite, like, color palette because they're a different type of player.
Very
Maybe
good,
it's something different
very
here.
good call out there, as he is very much like the libero is for volleyball, the support
Absolutely.
of the team. And I mean, that's what he looks to do. I mean, sometimes, honestly, you know what? He's not really even a support. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. Redx on Lucio is just an absolute demon. The man doesn't care. It's just wall riding. He's probably got some tunes jamming in his ears, not really listening to comms. He just kind of goes off in his own little world unless it's time to use ult, right? So other than beat drops, yeah, no, this guy sometimes can just go absolutely gross. Again, if Raheem wants to put out a Lucio on the for the side of Bellevue, all power to him. I'm going to be very interested to see how that goes for
It will
Bellevue.
be answered.
Yeah, he's gonna have to watch out. I think Redx is gonna be targeting him just a little bit. You know, I think he wants to prove something tonight. You know, his confidence level is there, and I'm really excited to see what he brings. You know, when you were speaking about comps, we mentioned that we were talking to Robin before. He was talking about Soaks and Noxious. You know, not on the main roster tonight, but
Yes.
being used in reserve as bench specialists. Noxious being Tracer, because they were talking about this Tracer Reaper combo that is just so prevalent in the meta right now. Are we
Yeah.
expecting to get a look at that tonight?
Well, again, map dependent, so it'll depend on where we're going. But if that is the case, expect that Tracer and Reaper with maybe like an Orisa and a Lucio as well, just to speed up literally all of that, right? I mean, no doubt Redx is there, right? So it makes sense. But if Noxious is going to be in that same map, it would not surprise me at all if maybe Soaks comes in for Alex. I know that Soaks plays a lot of Wu Yang. He's kind of the Wu Yang specialist right now of the team. That being said, if they need to run it down on the Lucio Kiriko, again, that's Soaks' realm just as well as it is Alex's. And I mean, talking about Kiriko players, Alex was such a damn good one last week as well. Huge plays and also just really really good discipline as well. I highlighted play in Lijiang Tower that they made last week where, again, you're just waiting, right? This team is so difficult or disciplined, and they're difficult to read because you have as an area where I believe it was Cumberland who had, I think, I was an 80% hold on Lijiang Tower, and yet they forced out the Kiriko Kitsune rush to try to take the bridge, right? And St. Clair just simply were like, yeah, no, I mean, this is fine. We got time still. We're just going to back up and go the other way. And then once you go the other way, it's like, okay, cool. Now we're just going to put down one of our own. So again, right, like they're really good at baiting out ults and reading defenses, regardless, or just reading teams in general. That's something that Alex is just really good at as well. Some of the times where I've seen Alex just be able to save the Suzu, does a really good job of not panicking and throwing it down all willy-nilly. Really knows how to save it for a moment that matters a lot. And if it means that he is going to take a useless death sometimes, whether it's just to get back with the team, not to burn the Suzu, sometimes he'll just do that, because sometimes it's better just to not overcomplicate the play, keep yourself alive, your team gets in, they're getting attacked, and you still have a Suzu on 11-second cooldown, right? Out of, like, what, the 15 or 20 that it takes. So right now, I think that he's one of the most disciplined players on the team, and as a Kiriko player, he is just so well-versed in the role. But again, Soaks can fill that gap if needed. Just him paired up with Redx, it really is just a support pair up of paradise. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah, and they have a lot of flexibility as well because Soaks, you know, with that Wu Yang specialist role, you know, he can work well with Alex because Wu Yang Kiriko is a very prevalent combo in the meta right now as well. So you have options. Like you said, it is map dependent. Depends on what Bellevue is bringing to the table today. We'll see what supports they like to play with. Some of their players, you know, dabble a little bit off meta. Some Zenyatta, some Baptiste, you know.
Some Brig I heard too.
Some Brig as well, potentially. So maybe some unconventional support characters for Bellevue tonight, but we're going to have to wait just a little longer. I think we got word the lobby crashed, unfortunately. So we'll just have to give the boys a little bit more time to get set up as Red X.
There we go, Red X. Lock
posing
in, bro.
for the camera, mewing for the camera.
There he is. You know, he got caught lacking a little bit earlier, but he fixed up real quick. There we go. A little nice wave is.
But still in the white jersey, though.
Yeah,
I've got a
still
fun
not
little
matching.
ask here. I've got a fun little ask here. Out of the players, who do you think has the most like egregious keyboard tilt?
Oh man, that's tough. I wouldn't actually know from looking at it. I think he was just trying to throw up a 6-7, but he didn't get it quite in the camera. That being said, back on to actual esports topics. If I had to guess, for some reason, sometimes the players that just have the most disgusting aim have the most horrible keyboard tilt. And I wonder if that's just juice. Because I can't see. I mean, look at Alex. Alex is looking good right now in terms of the keyboard tilt.
Yeah.
He's chilling, right? I think that from what I can see, you know, Tread, he's got the arms just kind of all normal and everything too. I mean, then again, so does Alex. I don't think any of these guys have an egregious keyboard tilt, so
It's all fairly
maybe I'll
normal, I think.
maybe I'll just go ahead and say noxious and like maybe Robin just hates the keyboard tilt and that's why he's benched.
Maybe. We're going to have to grill Robin on that a little bit. Gentlemen, we're about 30 seconds away from game time, so we'll tee it up to you. Have fun casting it tonight. I'll leave it to you, gentlemen, to segue us into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, St. Clair, Bellevue, it's a matchup of two teams with multiple top 500s, but one has a couple known pros as well. Tread on Gen G. It looks like the boys are getting back and locked in. Headsets on, posture fixes, and as we hear, we are 20 seconds out. I just want to hear it again. I got 3-0 right now for St. Clair. You got what, 3-1?
3-1. I think they're gonna pull one here.
Absolutely is. We are very shortly getting underway. You see Tread pulling up the chair. He's all ready to go. And here we are. As now, it's not going to be Lijiang Tower, actually. It's going to be another lobby crash as Tread's just left the game. And, yeah, he's pretty angry. I think he's just...
PC problem?
Yep, I think so. This is really unfortunate. Because I believe we also had some lobby issues last week as well for Overwatch, so this is just tough. Like, there's not really much you can really say about it. But Evan, you can talk again. You've regained
Thanks.
talking.
I'm out of I'm out of host jail.
You're out of host jail.
I can
yeah.
talk again a little bit. Yeah, no, really unfortunate. I think right when the game starts, we had a quick peek of we got a quick peek at both rosters, but I don't think any of that really matters now. As we'll get a quick reset, get Shred's PC problems fixed. But if it stays the same, looks like it will be a start on Lijiang Tower, which again is fairly familiar.
I think
for the
he's
team.
moving PCs.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Must be, yeah. So it's gonna be.
That's gonna be a long one. And the other thing I was going to say, then I'll just go ahead and ask right now: if Tread, let's say, in the craziest scenario, had to not play tank, right? Who's the player who takes over?
Ooh, I guess I'm gonna have to think about that.
I was saying,
I'm gonna have to think about that. That's gonna be a question I'm gonna have to ponder, but we'll think about it during this quick break. When we return, Tread's PC issue should be solved, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as soon as we can.
Yeah, no, this map is actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Waterman.
Yo, hey Scott, what the hell are you doing, bro? We got a match, bro. You're late.
Yo, I gotta go.
Yo, log in,
Yo,
bro.
I gotta go. Now I'm good.
No more than Calamity, though. 11 and 5, he'll be shut down. The rotation was for Cumberland, but St. Clair breaks through. Oh, kidding me. What the heck is that? Situation now 1-on-1, 1 HP on this solo. 1 bullet is a 4-person 1v5. Stand against the random.
Guy to this ball, guy to get down, maybe even get one for the road.
Our own standards here in this overtime period, because if we concede a goal, it's over for them.
He's doing a lot of damage, but he's got to keep you over. He avoids the ego. Bob Waena, no flash, no problem. St. Clair. Force back
Yo, Chris God, what the hell are you doing?
Welcome back, guys. I believe we're just about ready to get back into game. So we'll get back to the casters real quickly. Just give me your predictions really quick before we jump back in.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who are just tuning in right now, going up against Bellevue University, both teams top 500, but we've got some pros in our lineup. Give me 3-0. I don't see a world where this one goes to Game 5. Game 4, sure. I can see sometimes where Bellevue would be able to take a game off of us, but that being said, I think there's just levels to this. So 3-0 for me.
I'm still going to have to go with 3-1. I think they're going to pull something out somewhere down the line. I'm a believer through and through. I always believe that every team has a chance. So
Now as we look on, we're going to be seeing that we are indeed on Lijiang Tower. It's going to be Tread, Juice, Razor, Alex, and Redex with their lineups all started out. Let's get down to business as Bellevue. Looking at the lineup, they have the Orisa and Avery with the Tracer, the Freya, the Lucio, and the Kiriko. So immediately, what stands out to me, right, having that Reaper in the lineup, could have went with the Tracer here as well, but at the same time, it's just Juice running it all down. Avery and Stone, the first to fall, as St. Clair looking real good in this first team fight.
that's absolutely right. They're taking a really quick lead here, trying to take them out so they can get on point first. And I will say, this is the first time I'm actually seeing Freya in action. I have not played the game since Freya and the newest character, was it Wu Yang or something like that?
Wu Yang.
Okay. Wu Yang. I have not been able to play since they came out, so we're going to see I'm learning in the moment as well.
He absolutely is. Now, watch out right now for Juice and that snare. It's a really good idea to use the snare to cut off the bridge just in case. So it's going to be a very hard crossover, as that Suzu going to be able to keep the Orisa just stable for a little while longer, but getting real low. And yeah, exactly. This choke can be held by the Reaper for so long. I mean, you come in close and yeah, that Orisa health bar is just going to be fumbling, popping the gold mode immediately as well. So anytime you see the Orisa burn through her cooldowns like that, it's going to have to take some time before they can really get active and get something going. Is now Juice trying to get back here. The point being contested, but against St. Clair, they're willing to pull back, and it seems like give up the point for just a little bit as they just recompose their team.
Yeah, they're going to go for this reset right now. They're going to back off a little bit, get their players back together, get everyone back grouped up so they can make a push as a whole team. And I will say, already 50% for St. Clair, so round has started out pretty quickly. St. Clair's taking an early advantage on this one, but we'll see if Bellevue can hang on to this point for a little while here.
Yeah, absolutely is. We're going to have the Zarya manning the front. They're going to push in here. Kitsune rush as well. We'll get St. Clair in, and as the snare guards the exit right now for Bellevue, the Zarya ult's going to get popped down. Insanely good Lucio ult, though, from Raheem, but it's going to have the after effects be put off, as now Redex popped his in the moment, and yeah, immediately after that shield goes down, the bodies are going to start hitting the floor. Tread with 2, give Redex another. Stone commits die as he needs to in order to reset with his team, as Juice finishes off the Freya.
And absolutely, another team fight won by St. Clair, and they're just going to push them off again. They're going to reclaim this point. And Bellevue really having to fight here to stay as part of this. Already behind another 40% now. I mean, looking grim for Bellevue here.
Yeah, especially when you realize that they literally dumped every single one of their ults. And now with the Orisa dying as well, that's just even more time burn. I don't even think they're going to have enough time to push onto this point, or if they do, it's going to have to be from Raheem causing a overtime or just a contested in order to keep the clock rolling while this Orisa can try to get in. Or, yeah, you know what, Avery, just go ahead and switch over to Wrecking Ball. So there you go. You get a little bit of ball gameplay.
I do get some ball
Zero
gameplay.
as it all works out. The contest comes through, and, well, yeah, that went just as much as I thought that was going to go.
That was a lot of ball gameplay right there.
Not anticlimactic at all. The overclock comes through, and that's going to be objective secured for St. Clair. First point of Lijiang Tower goes over to them in what was simply a roll, in my opinion.
Speaking of roll, that was some ball game right there. Holy.
Man, I think our observer caught like the best 2 seconds. Maybe not even of ball gameplay that you've ever seen in your life.
10. Yeah.
There you go.
2 seconds of 10. We got to see ball just in time to go, ah, like that Kirby meme, falling off the cliff.
Mm-hmm. I think that what St. Clair did really well in that map, right? I'm going to put the emphasis on Juice and the snares as well. Really did a good job of holding the escape points of Bellevue with that snare, right? And again, the second that Lucio ult got forced out, everything after that was just wait for the shield to go down and immediately just regress. And from there, it was all she wrote. I will say, Ivory landing a disgusting couple of shots there as Juice already down for the count, and just before any of the supports could really even get an eye on him.
Now they're just going to clash right here. They found each other in the middle. They're going to go right at it, and they're going to try to get some early pressure here by either team wiping or taking out a majority of the team. Who will come out on top? I guess we're going to see.
Yes. Now it's going to be the Zarya to bubble up the Reaper, and that's just so insane too, because you get fed charge off of that, and I mean, what are they just going to do? Not get rid of the bubble? The Reaper's just going to sit in their face, not take any damage, and with those twin shotties, just rain absolute terror among the health bars of Bellevue, as St. Clair now just completely rolling. Alex, Tread, Razor all getting in on the action. Give Alex a little bit of a headshot with a kunai. Why not? Is now just chasing down this Freya, and she's going to have a snowball's chance in hell of getting away from Razor there. It's not going to work out, as St. Clair looking real strong. They passed 25%.
Yeah, and that was very interesting getting to watch the Reaper chase there on Ivory. And Freya, very agile character, I've noticed. Like, has a lot of map movement in the air a lot.
Yes.
But it did not matter. Razor hunts them down with Reaper and takes them out of the sky.
Well, again, it doesn't really matter how good your movement is. The problem is if you're trying to become an air character, well, we got Juice on Sojourn, and we'll see how good that goes for you. Zarya ult gets popped with the twin Kitsune rushes, and the kill feed goes absolutely crazy. It's just a ton of picks going down for Razor, and, well, that's definitely when you're going to be seeing on the highlight reel. Real good stuff there from St. Clair as they combo the right ults at the perfect time, and Bellevue, they have a Pulse Bomb to work off of, soon to be an Orisa ult as well, but a Death Blossom and a B drop waiting with open arms. So St. Clair, they technically have a free team fight win just waiting in pocket for them.
Yeah, you would think, but Razor does go down here, so he's going to have to come back before they can actually utilize that ult at all. We did see a switch as well. Ivory did switch off of Freya for Sojourn, just trying to change up momentum a little bit. But it doesn't seem like it's going to matter here as Ivory's going to be forced to back off as well. And St. Clair is just going to contest this point as long as they can, try to hold it down and not let Bellevue back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As now we see 90% gets crossed, and this one is probably going to be all she wrote. The Orisa shield goes down, but a beautiful use of the snare just to block off another entry point. Again, Death Blossom waiting with open arms. The D.Va going through with Tread, just spacing out everything. It's going to be Razor with a huge pick. Both DPSs down, and now with no real huge damage dealing capability and a support down, I think this one is going to be all over as St. Clair give them the 1-0. They take Lijiang in 2-0 fashion. And Bellevue didn't have a chance at nabbing percentage on that one.
My prediction is not looking so great after that first round, I'll tell you that. They take that one 2 rounds straight for a game 1 win.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this play of the game, really huge headshot right there as the overclock goes through. Again, it's just so much damage being put out, and yes, well, the most kills might have not gone down there as, you know, if we're talking about solo kills, finishing blows, Razor had an insane play off the Zarya black hole, but at the same time, usually just comes down to who has the more intrusive gameplay in terms of just getting involved and making sure that you can really rally behind your team, as Juice just did right there. So really good play out of Sojourn from him, as now it seems like these guys are going to be taking, it seems like maybe a short break before they go into the next map. But that being said, we got replays we can show you. Really good stuff there, a decent beat drop, and I get the vision, but the second that shield goes, it's just going to be chaos. You have no more healing capability. Raheem goes down, and it's just all smooth sailing from there. Look at how Hutch just gets absolutely melted. These Saints, they know how to target their solo man really well.
Absolutely. I gotta be honest, I want to see what happened to Ball in the few seconds leading up to them falling off the cliff there. I gotta know. It's just, we cut to them and they were just falling and falling.
Yeah, it's unfortunate as now Alex, Razor, and Tread, you saw him getting involved there. As it just really, there really wasn't a chance I think that, again, right, like, these guys are really struggling with dealing with the Sojourn Snare. It blocks off their exit points. We've seen it work on the first point of Lijiang Tower, the second one as well. Whenever you think that you can back up and have a gap, there isn't one. Because the snare is just placed preemptively and it just acts as a chokehold, right? You're taking damage regardless. It's really good stuff. Even if it's not directing in kills, it's still damage that can help in assisting that. And whether or not it's actually finding picks, it's also building ult charge as well, nonetheless.
You know, one thing I wonder if it's a good comp or not. Like I said, I'm a very casual player, but this just popped in my head for whenever it's ever been utilized. I wonder if that snare is ever used with May Wall and Hazard Sharp Wall to try and box people in to a little bit of a kill box.
That would be bullying and horrible, and I hope I see it now that you've put that in my mind. Thank you, Zero.
That would be a pretty terrifying comp, I would think.
I mean, honestly, I get to ask you, right? Evan, that was pure domination. You're not in host jail anymore. I mean, you can talk, but what did you think about that game right there? There isn't really much to break down in terms of what Bellevue showed us, is there?
No, not really. I mean, it was a fairly dire showing, I think, from Bellevue. I think that second map, especially that second point, was really indicative of their performance. I mean, Saints were just completely running it down, especially once you get that team kill. You have the ability to push up and be aggressive in the spawn, and we saw it right there. I mean, Razor's impact on Reaper cannot be understated. How big was he in holding those choke points, especially on map 1 in Garden with the bridge? I mean, just an absolute lockdown hold with Tread on Zarya there. An unconventional pick from Tread. I was a little surprised to see him decide to go with Zarya on map 1, but I mean, clearly it was working out. I mean, Bellevue was just absolutely feeding him, and once you get Tread with a Death Star laser, it's game over there. And Bellevue just had zero answers for anything that St. Clair was throwing at.
I mean, I don't think Minus coming in from spawn that when our observers switched over to Tread, he was anything usually under 80 charge. And I mean, that just says that they're feeding his bubble really well, and it's a good call because when you have a Lucio Reaper combo and you put the bubble on the Reaper and just let him go crazy and start pushing, you want us to get to a point where Bellevue, they can't wait out that bubble. You just got to break it and try to get to the Reaper sooner, and it is really unfortunate for Bellevue, but it really is pick your poison. You want to die from the Reaper, or do you want to just feed charge to Zarya and into more black holes? I mean, it's just tough. There's not really an easy way to combat it, and we just saw Bellevue, they just really struggled. They couldn't get any semblance of anything in terms of counter-picking or counterplay.
Well, we're going to see if they got anything left in the tank because map 2 is just moments away, and we'll see if St. Clair can keep this train rolling or will Bellevue strike back and even the series up 1-1.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the only way I could see Bellevue evening the series 1-1 is if we're getting onto New Queen Street and somebody throws on Lucio reminiscent of last week. I mean, anyone hearing it? Is Soak subbing in for Red X? Everyone got comms on Robin right now? No, I don't think so. As you know, I think it's going to be a very different look for St. Clair on that map if we do end up going to it again. Map pick's not revealed usually until we get into server, and as we see, that is not the case at all. So now St. Clair going through with the Zarya comp once again, and Ana as well that is going to be switched out to a Kiriko. I was going to say, not very commonly seen there as we move on to Hollywood now, as we're going to see St. Clair. What can they muster up to try to make this game go ever so quicker and get us back home? It's Juice trying to do just that. Headshot, quick one onto the Lucio, and it's going to be a loss that Bellevue field.
Yeah, they're very quickly onto the point here, trying to capture this. And I will say, this is a map I'm quite fond of. I've had quite a few good runs on this map as Junkrat. I don't know if Junkrat's very seen much in competitive here. So, not going to see my boy, but we are going to see St. Clair really trying to take this point fast. They are just holding down the pressure. They already have 3 down on Bellevue, so they shouldn't have too much contest here trying to take this point. In fact, they're just going to move up now ahead of time.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what, if we did see a Junkrat here, 1, it would be on defense. 2, that would be very entertaining because it should never happen, ever. But I'm sorry, Zero. That's just how it is right now. But this is more of a meta lineup that we're seeing, and one that we're not surprised at all is, again, Robin kind of teased this one to us, so we kind of had an inkling of what was going on. But again, the Reaper just on the Zarya bubble is just so damn good. They just, again, it's either feed charge or just let Reaper kill you, and well, you don't really want to be doing neither of those two options. So what do? You give up space, and in doing that, by standing back, Redx can just emote on the payload as they just continues to move up slowly and, well, progressively.
Absolutely, Redx just having a bit of time to himself to vibe on that payload right now. See him hitting the emo. He's just relaxing. He's got no pressure in the world right now. He's just, you guys got that, right? I'll just hang out here. I'll push this by myself. And that Reaper really putting on the pressure on the front line there to help that escort as well. And the entire team here, they've kind of spread out over these rooftops and kind of created a kill box of sorts where it's hard for any of Bellevue to get through here. And like you said, this Zarya is just insane with the bubbles right now. And yeah, I mean, these guys are seemingly getting through this first portion of the map pretty quickly with real no contest. So
yeah, again, right, it's just about space control for St. Clair. There were a couple times they're fighting amongst the rooftops where I honestly thought that Bellevue's Kiriko was getting into a little bit of a risky position. Pushing up with your tank close on the Reaper, as if the Reaper's not just going to solo you out, is quite a risky play there. As it's going to be Tread with the black hole that's going to keep everybody still for enough time. Ivory with a little bit of a response, though, pops the overclock and finds one onto Juice. That's the second time in a row where Juice has just been unfortunately diffed by Ivory, but it doesn't matter. His team has his get back, and I don't really think he cares as long as he's getting kill participation on literally everybody else in that Bellevue squad. So regardless, St. Clair, they got a beat drop they can sit on. Same with Bellevue as well, with the Pulse Bomb, is now a tank switch to Ramatra.
Absolutely, and St. Clair's going to get through that first point pretty quickly with relative ease. There's really no competition there from Bellevue. They could not get anything on the point. But we are going to see Ramatra come in here. Maybe this will be the change that they need to really hold this down. I wonder if there will be any other swaps if things continue to go bad for Bellevue here. But it doesn't look like that Ramatra is going to make too much of a difference so far, as it's going to go down as well as their the whole team apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, you know, lost for words, and I don't even blame you because there's so many picks that are just coming through, and yeah, I mean, this is just Tread, St. Clair, spawn camp. That's it. It's spawn camp time.
Yeah, Tread just holding that down with Zarya on the front line. Wow, Juice is going to get melted, though.
No more spawn camp. Everybody run. Juice, oh, man, not looking too good from you there, but no, the whole team just going to back off again. Once they see that there is a little bit of pushback, these guys are not one to give up picks for no reason. They're very well disciplined as the Zarya just absolutely grinding through that Ramatra's health. Ramatra has to pop the Omnic Form just to get himself that extra shield. Is now it's going to be St. Clair who look to take vertical control.
Now we're going to see their push.
I was going to say, yeah, they're just moving through a knife like butter right now as they just completely hop onto the point. A huge Reaper TP onto the top of the RV is going to be able to give them that space that they need. Kitsune Rush goes down. Hutch is going to pop one as well, but if Raheem and Hutch die, then yeah, that's going to be it. No more healing left to go, and St. Clair, they're going to take that payload in dominant fashion. And this really just tells you the skill diff. Remember, Bellevue, whole team of top 500s. They're not nobodies. That is the top rank in Overwatch, but against some of the best collegiate competition, simply it is no match.
Yeah, that seemed to be a very one-sided battle once again, and I mean, my prediction on Bellevue here is getting harder and harder to believe in as these matches go through. We saw a lot from the Reaper that game, really pushing the front line there to get his team through. On these rooftops especially here, Razor just holding it down with that Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of where you get into a dangerous position, right? Where with Bellevue, backs against the wall, not a lot to lose there. Is quite the fancy sit down from the Lucio. That was a very dangerous spot for the Kiriko to be in. I was honestly surprised that she pushed up a couple of Reaper shots and immediately she was like, well, I got to back off now. But guess what? Your position's already called out. One rail shot, and that's all it takes. Is again, just showing the replay that Ivory got there. So decent stuff from St. Clair. They really know how to choose their fights. I really like the discipline to back off and then just wait for the Reaper to kind of start the aggression, and immediately off of a 3-2-1 call, you just jump straight onto the point, let the Kitsune Rush go down, and then just pick off the supports that were in your backline. It's almost like they just really turned the tables on Bellevue in that area. So now it's Bellevue's time to attack, and as we look at the hold, St. Clair and their lineup aren't going to change a damn thing.
No, absolutely not. They're going to hold the same line here. They're going to hold the same picks. And, I mean, why wouldn't they? They've been so phenomenal so far with these characters. RedX getting the support in on Lucio. I mean, we knew he was going to be playing Lucio from the beginning, and he's shown us why. He's shown us why he's a Lucio player here. We've seen very good stuff from every single member of this team. Extreme pressure from Razor, Juice, and Tread here. And honestly, I don't know what to see from Bellevue here to see them make anything out of this now, honestly.
I was going to say, if Razor could have gotten out of that overextension, that would have been huge. But now that he's gone and they have man advantage, it's going to be Bellevue to just send it in. And I'm honestly surprised that Razor did that. This choke is so close in terms of distance, in terms of angles to enter, right? So when you have so many close choke points, you would really think a Reaper there would be a great idea to just sit. But no, he overextends, and because of that, it's probably going to cost his team the team fight. There goes Tread, Redx, everyone's falling at the seams, and Razor is going to have to wait. FaZe walk out of there unless he just wants to plug in the TP. He's not even going to get that down as St. Clair decide, let's just stagger for a little longer, I guess, because why not?
Yeah, they are going to lose that point, so the payload will start moving here. Is it too soon to start worrying, or do we start ringing the bell here? This is actually seeing some action in the Bellevue here. We're seeing a bit of a response. Maybe they said, hey, okay, this is enough. We got to do something here, guys. So maybe we're going to see a bit of a turnaround here. Maybe my 3-1 isn't so out of reach here.
Well, again, when you look at how fast St. Clair got it done, it means that Bellevue would have to reach the third point within the next minute and 30 seconds. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they get a little bit of time bonus, but I think because of the speed that St. Clair did it, I could see a reality where when it comes to close spawn at the very end, they'd be able to hold it out. I think the problem right now is, again, in Hybrid, the point is never really that big of an issue. It is purely for time burn reasons. The second you lose a player, it immediately just becomes the attacking team's point. So it really is more about just how they're going to be able to push the convoy, the payload, as now getting some response, some bite back from the Zarya. And as the Reaper repositions, going to find a quick pick over on the rooftops, the spin around as well. FaZe walk back, and I was going to say a great play there from Razor to find the shots onto the Kiriko as well. Had no reason to solo push that, as this Reaper, Razor, still alive somehow, as Alex unfortunately going to go down, but the Lucio can just quickly up the volume in order to heal him back up. The Black Hole goes through as well, and this is just a straight BM on the Diva. That is literally all this is now going down is going to have to stagger out Bellevue even more, because why would you solo push when you do not have a tank? Stone, questions to be asked of you there.
Absolutely. St. Clair taking no time to take control of this match again. They did get some distance here. Bellevue was able to push the payload quite a ways, but St. Clair has found themselves able to reset and retake their chokehold on this area. And now we just get to see St. Clair battle from these rooftops again. And when they were on attack, they did a very good job from these rooftops. And now that they're on defense, now that they're here, they're doing it all over again. I mean, we got to see that play on the Diva just a bit ago with the Zarya ult, and I think these guys are going to have a tough time getting ahead here.
Yeah, I just simply think that St. Clair, they've done a really good job of holding Bellevue when it matters. Avery getting taken out of the mech, and what was that? On the slide as well, mid-slide, the Pulse Bomb was able to hit Juice, and quick reactions right there from Tread to bubble his man up so that that Pulse Bomb did not find a kill. Huge plays on both sides. Really nice one there from Stone, and unfortunately, Tread just had to match it. It's really tough, because you would have thought the Pulse Bomb of your life to hit mid-slide in a Sojourn, and it doesn't even go down for you. Brutal.
That was a very high IQ move in the game. But now we're actually seeing Juice go down, and Tread is very low and seems to be kind of cornered here. But Razor going to get the pick off on their Sojourn on Ivory. So kind of bouncing
He's just
going to
drop and Blossom. I'm just waiting for it.
Oh, absolutely. You can see him. You can see the gears moving. He's like, oh, it's right here. It's right here.
Unfortunately, it actually can't be right here because the second he drops, the entire team of Bellevue just reposition. So I'm sorry, Jack. You're going to have to wait a little while longer, and it might even have to be in the next life as you're down to half-life yourself. Tread low, so the support's got to focus on him, and that's going to leave Redx an opening to die as Stone takes advantage of it. Razor so low on health. You do not want to be burning through your ults here as the phase walk's going to come through, but it is simply the pressure of Bellevue that is too much for him to live at this moment. Black Hole is going to be eaten through as now Raheem and Bellevue rolling St. Clair as they can quickly make it to their second point. 2:16 on the clock, and that's all they have in order to fight off St. Clair when they have near spawn.
Yeah, and that was absolute pandemonium on point there to take that point. Honestly, I thought Razor was going to have that, but that's, like you said, as soon as he touched ground, they were like, oh, well, hold on, Urban back up, give him some space, don't get hit by that, and now it looks like the ult's going to go through, but he did not pick anyone off with that either, so bit of an upset there. Ending up wasting that ult. They do still have 2 ults available to them. They are both support ults though, so you probably won't see both of them used at the same time, if at all, right now.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I was feeling very confident in St. Clair despite the fact they gave up the point, but honestly, Brendan, Bellevue, yes, they are not getting it done in the amount of time that St. Clair got it done through, so yes, big time advantage for St. Clair, but I could still see them getting this 3rd point. They're working through very well here. Is a minute 16 left to go, but beat drop down is going to be a long time before you're going to have that back as Redx waits, so his beat drop will last even longer, and yeah, they're going to win this race out as it's going to be out for a bigger portion of time as now Ivory, Raheem go down, and there's just so much more ground to make up when you're trying to get back to your team on this choke point. So St. Clair, if they can now just hold for these final 52, they should be in the running. Hutch dying there is massive as well. He's going to almost have to certainly rush back to everybody and pop that Kitsune rush immediately. So St. Clair know that Bellevue probably have a Kitsune rush in pocket, so now you just have to prep for it as Razor going to be lurking on the Tracer. Close to a pulse bomb, you have to assume that when the rush goes down, St. Clair are just going to back up, wait for it to go through, and then they're going to re-aggress as they do have the ability to do so. That payload still needs to move a little while further, and with 16 seconds left to go, this is going to be the final play.
Absolutely, and they do have that bomb ready on Razor's Tracer. They do have that in their pocket.
They're going to get it.
It's going to be absolute chaos right now, and yes, they are, oh no, it's very much chaos on point, but they are going to get through and get the 3 points to keep things going.
Yeah, I mean, taken down to 0 seconds, but you know what, Brendan, I'll say it. You predicted it right on the money. Good stuff from you, sirs. Now we're going to have overtime. Yes, St. Clair, they do have a ton of time left in pocket, so a big advantage there, but that being said, it's going to be all about how they're going to be using it, as now it seems like Juice just talking to Soaks, maybe just recomposing himself as now locking in for OT. That's going to have to be the main thing to look forward to. St. Clair, a little bit of work to do here as Bellevue get that 3rd point just like them.
Yeah, and I feel Bellevue will be under a lot more pressure here since they will have less time in this overtime. So as long as St. Clair can stay calm and composed, they should be able to take this one and reclaim this round and not give it up to Bellevue here.
Yeah, again, for Bellevue, this is huge because you lose this and all of a sudden it's just one more game away. You're down 0-2 after that and could be going back to the dorms after that one. But again, got an overtime looming. I will say I really do love the plays that I saw from Bellevue switching over to the Diva. The space control that they were able to find was a lot better. Zarya just simply did not work out for St. Clair on the defense there, and it was unfortunate, as sometimes I feel like maybe they could have held that choke on defense better there with Razor on the Reaper, but they gave it up a little bit too quickly for me or Red Wings.
Yeah, absolutely. And St. Clair is going to have almost 3 minutes at the start. It was almost 3 minutes to get this and push.
Wow,
for
they're
their
getting
point.
rolled right now.
But they are getting very much pushed back to their spawn. Bellevue really locking it down right now. They want this point. They need this point. They are hungry for this point. They're going to do whatever it takes to stay in the game here. And I honestly believe that they are being more vicious here. So we'll see what comes out of this. And they're going to go back and forth here. Both teams now have a Reaper as well. And these are carbon copy teams of each other right now. Exact same characters on each team.
Right, I mean, again, it's just going to be the replication of the lineups from both sides, and it makes sense, right? The Reaper in such close choke points is a very decent character to go through. The Zarya with the bubble is a nice addition to put onto the Reaper, and the Lucio just speeds up everyone that much more, makes them that much harder to hit. As now it's going to be Raheem, who has a beat drop, so if anyone on Bellevue get into a sticky situation, 2 support ults that you can just kind of space out and make sure that you can have 2 separate team engagements. But no, they're actually just going to pop everything right away. As now, this could be a problem for Bellevue in the future, because I was going to say, if Red X just holds on to his beat drop, they are going to have a free one plus a black hole in pocket for their next push. So it'll be interesting to see how Bellevue counter this out with no beat drop or Kitsune Rush in pocket.
You're very much right here. And as you can see, St. Clair is about to have 3 different ults, almost 4. Just still waiting on Red X, so just a little bit longer. And Bellevue is only going to get 3 here. They're only going to have 3, so this may come out to an all-out ult battle on point once everybody pushes in. And I'm actually going to guess this is going to happen. It's going to be chaos on point here with everyone popping ults.
Yeah, I mean, the overclock's already been put out, and we see that it's definitely Bellevue who look to strike first. They can smell blood in the water, but have they done it a bit too soon? Yes, they have drained time exactly to 0, so St. Clair, regardless, are going to have to make one hell of a hold on defense in order to see this one out. But at the same time, Juice, Razor, Tread, and company, if they can just make it back to that point in 25 seconds, start popping ults to get themselves in there. Red X with the beat drop, and this is going to be where St. Clair takes space. The Death Blossom, but no, actually gets sucked up by the wall. It was just an improper pop, and now Juice is going to have to do most of the work himself. Overclock goes in, but he has to reload, and because of that, he can't finish off the Sojourn. Bellevue, an amazing hold there, as they're going to have the next point. Or sorry, no, they gave it up. My bad. I wasn't even looking at it. That's horrible from me. But I need to comment on it right now, because we were looking at Juice and I didn't see what was going on the point. It seems like maybe Bellevue would have C9 there. That was just horrible. The pace was looking all like St. Clair didn't have it in the bag. So again, a little bit of confusion there. Is hopefully that can be cleared up to me in prod. But St. Clair, regardless, if they made it work out, yes, they did. It was just a little bit tough for Bellevue there. I guess they just committed too many people off of site and they just C9'd.
I guess so. I mean, I was
like,
sort
I'm
of
sorry, that was
watching
just
how
confusing.
that
I was looking at that and I was like,
I
there's
mean,
no way Bellevue just give up the point with multiple players just alive
and
there.
you know what? It's tough, especially when your overtime hold was so strong, because I was watching it, and Bellevue, that was like 3 or 4 team fights in a row that they had won, like, fairly, like, confidently.
Right, and I mean, I was figuring, right, with the beat drop already burnt out, the Death Blossom not working, and no one dying from the Graviton Surge right in the black hole, I was kind of sitting here and I'm like, so St. Clair are kind of just sitting ducks. Juice pops an overclock off of site, gets one, sure, but why are there 3 people just not on point there for Bellevue? That's really troubling.
Potential miscommunication, I think, from Bellevue, you know, to
such a
lose that map
miscommunication that it honestly, it fooled me.
It fooled. I think it fooled everybody here. But I mean, it doesn't matter. They don't ask. You know, they don't ask how. They ask how many. And the Saints, you know,
2.
They are still up 2. You know, you do take that one home. And I mean, definitely could have been a lot cleaner, I think. But you got to give it to Bellevue. I mean, both teams' attacking rounds were incredibly clean. I think. You know, you talk about that moment to start St. Clair's defense when Razor does overextend. You know, maybe that should have been a tighter hold for St. Clair. That overextension from Razor definitely didn't help in their
No.
point defense afterwards, you know, losing your top DPS, especially one who is so good in choke point situations. That Hollywood choke point is notorious for being a tough nut to crack, but both teams just bull rush completely through, and we saw some really, really solid attacking rounds from both sides. So Saints definitely need to clean it up a little bit as we wait for the start of map 3, but they got to be feeling good that they're up 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just still shell-shocked by the fact that I don't know how... I mean, Bellevue had all the cards in the right place. They genuinely did. Death Blossom does next to nothing. No one dies in Black Hole, and, I mean, the Lucio, the beat drop, got burnt out pretty quickly before anyone could touch point. So you're sitting here and you're like, 8 seconds left to go. Okay, Juice, pop an ult, and all of a sudden there are 3 people from Bellevue just off the point.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a mistake from a positioning
It's bold strategy,
standpoint.
Cotton.
But as we arrive in map 3 Rialto, we got some more payload, gentlemen. Take it away.
Very fun, very fun. More payload, more action. That was a very chaotic end to the last match. I'm still not entirely sure what happened there, honestly. That should have been Bellevue's to win, like you said, but it doesn't matter now. We're going to jump into game 3, and let's see if Bellevue is going to be fueled by a bit of anger here to try and take this one back now. Very quickly, St. Clair really trying to bring this one fast, I guess. Just a little bit lost on that last match. It's like fogging up my brain now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to kind of like shove it off to the side. You know what happened? If I was on Bellevue, I'd be kind of ticked off by that one. But at the same time, you got to go next, and that's just the mentality you have to have. It seems like St. Clair, they're already fine to go next. They got 4 on payload right now, and they're just burning through Bellevue on this first defensive hold. Tread as the Diva creating so much space and being able to isolate those 1v1s if he needs to from the team fight. That's something that they're so good at, and just going to rip through Bellevue on that first hold and now making progress steadily towards point 1.
Yeah, and you see a lot of lineup changes here as well. Bellevue, first of all, Avery is switching to Diva. Ivory is now back on Freya. Regime playing the new support. Still don't remember their name entirely.
Wu Yang.
Wu Yang, that's it. I will try to remember that. And on St. Clair, also a lot of changes here. No one playing Zarya anymore. Tread also swapped to Diva. Juice also playing Freya. And these are almost carbon copy teams of each other again. The only difference being is Alex still sticking with Kiriko.
Yeah, as now it's going to be Bellevue who try to push the pace, but I was going to say with Tread on Diva and the defense matrix in pocket, I don't really know if either of the Freyas are going to be making their mark well felt, as now it's going to be St. Clair who are getting the blunt force of the rotation, as now Bellevue able to find the next couple of picks as they rotate back onto the point, and they're going to be able to stop this payload with what I believe at the time would have just been just under 1 meter change.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out how the new support's powers work, and I saw those water bubbles coming out of nowhere around corners and stuff. That caught me off guard there, but St. Clair is going to be trying to hold down this point as long as they can, and they're going to get a little bit push here, and Regime is going to go down, so we are going to see a team fight happen here, and Red X is going to go down as well, and Hutch is low, Stone is low, everyone is getting low, and it's total chaos again, and an ult is going to go out as well for a Diva there as well.
Yeah, again, right, just Tread spacing the floor. The Diva Bomb is so good because it just makes everyone have to go off and cut lines of sight from St. Clair players, and because of that, you can either chase down 1v1s if you want, or you can just take space accordingly. And so exactly how St. Clair is going to be playing that one out will bag them that first point and a couple more meters to boot as well. So it is the catalyst for them to get some momentum on this payload, and sometimes when they get moving, these boys just do not stop. So we'll see here as Juice is just trying to hold this crossfire. Is now going to be taken down low once, just quickly back up and reposition, as he very well does, as now this Diva Tread looking for another alternate avenue of pressure. Some phantom pressure in the vertical will allow them to just reposition down below, as now this Tracer, Razor, looking for a potential cheeky pulse bomb here if he can get through to the back line. That would be huge and catastrophic for Bellevue in this next team fight, considering that their spawn is quite a ways away still. Juice going to be taking down the Freya is big, and that's a huge first pickup. There's probably no one better right now in the scene who's good at creating these man advantages, the movement as well to keep themselves from getting ledged off. Juice is going absolutely feral right now. Give him 4 on the observer feed, and he's on a 10-player kill streak. He's not showing signs of slowing down anytime soon, and he's one hell of a player on hit scan.
That was an excellent, excellent push from St. Clair there. They just swept their way through, and like you said, Juice just mowing down enemies left and right with that crossbow. That was incredible gameplay from Juice there. And we see here they are going to capture the second point and start pressuring for the third. So they're already up 2 points, and it's getting close to the end game here.
No, we're not doing this. There's no way we're doing this. Is there a tech issue again? There's no shot. Evan, you're free from host jail.
Oh, wake back up again. Yeah, we're just getting word from Prod that I think we're just as confused as you guys are. We're not sure what the issue is. Hopefully we'll get an answer from somebody soon. But, I mean, that could potentially be detrimental for both sides. I mean, I think the Saints were really starting to get some momentum there, especially after breaking through that first checkpoint. And now to just have to stop completely, I mean, that's awful for that momentum that you had just started to gain.
Yeah, Overwatch, what's going on here, man? What
crazy.
is going on here? That's like, what, 3 different lobby crashes? I was going to say,
here we
let's
go,
get
here we
back
go.
into the action. Luckily, that was not a lobby crash entirely, is now St. Clair off a Kitsune Rush. They want to build that momentum immediately back up, so they put out the Kitsune Rush as if they never left, and now taking more ground again. And honestly, to me, that's worth it, because I get it. You know, you've technically burned one out, but at the same time, you got 2:45 left to go. Your Kitsune and Alex is probably going to be able, or Kiriko is probably going to be able to build up another rush by the time that clock gets winding down. You're still making good meters, and at the same time, when you've lost momentum, there's nothing better like a Kitsune Rush that can pick it right back up. So I feel like they kind of caught Bellevue sleeping at the wheel, as now they answer back with a Kitsune Rush of their own, but the meters have already been burnt out, and despite the fact that they have all the perks of this Kitsune Rush, it is going to be St. Clair who are slowly but surely taking down Bellevue one by one. It's just the stagger now, and from here on out, it will be no more for Bellevue, as 3 points going to St. Clair, as now we switch sides.
You're absolutely right there. That was a very good move by St. Clair. And like you said, when you get something like that where you got to sit still for a few moments, you lose all your pressure. Everyone gets a little bit cool. So to jump right back in like that, to use that ult, that was a very good move to reapply quick pressure and really like enforce your team on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough for Bellevue. Where do you even go from here? Zero, what do you do, man?
I would cry. That's just me personally.
just
I would
cry.
cry.
You'd cry.
I'm a crier.
You know what? I can't blame you. I think, you know, something's got to go flying. It's got to be a mouse, a keyboard. Is there a window nearby? Something that can be cracked? I mean, honestly, Bellevue right now, it's just unfortunate, especially when you thought you broke St. Clair's momentum. Evan, to just charge back in like that, I mean, that's got to be a killer.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, but it didn't matter. That mysterious tech pause didn't lead to anything. I mean, the Saints were continuing to roll through on the attacker side. I mean, it really was just a really similar story to what we saw on Hollywood. But now as we wait to switch sides, the story is going to be, can St. Clair have stout defense, or is Bellevue going to answer with a great attack round on their own? We're going to find out.
Yeah, as right now, looking at Bellevue there, again, just going to be copying the lineup of St. Clair. Not necessarily copying, but just running the exact same lineup of St. Clair, as understandably so, as it's been working. So why not, why ditch it? You wouldn't ditch it. Why not run it again? As we see now, Bellevue taking space with the D.Va. Defense Matrix goes up, and it does a good job of just eating up some projectiles for the time being, as now Bellevue taking space on meters, and they have broken through the first choke point that St. Clair could have put them at.
It's like they always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's exactly what they're going to do with these lineups here. I mean, it's tried and true. Even if it's not working for Bellevue last round, it worked for St. Clair, so why would they give it up, like you said? Very early on here, we are seeing a very quick rush from Bellevue, though. They're already over halfway to this point, but this is really where it matters here, is this little plaza. This is the big chokehold point, so it really comes down to if Bellevue can get through here or not.
Right, I mean, again, that element of time going to be such a huge factor, and I believe St. Clair, if I'm getting this correct, had about, I think, just a little bit over just 2 minutes and change. I think 2 minutes and like 4 or 5 seconds. So, again, now as all things come to a bit of a standstill, Bellevue trying to reposition, get someone up top just to put some distance on the Freya, makes Juice have to rotate out of that position and have to take a little bit of a back step, but regardless, finds the pick onto the D-Mech, and that's the Baby Diva gone as well. Kitsune Rush will allow St. Clair to just push on through, and manned by Tread should be able to pull Bellevue's forces all the way back to spawn.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. They just pushed them all the way back. They relieved any pressure that was on them up until now, and that was a excellent defense matrix by Tread to also escort that Lucio out of there. I saw that's the move they pulled there. Not even using the defense matrix for themselves, but for their teammate as well. That's something I've never thought of doing when I'm playing quick play.
Yeah, I mean, sure, quick play is a little more selfish, but the defense matrix is so good because it just eats up so many different abilities, including ults as well. You got a Tracer Pulse bomb that you're looking to throw down, defense matrix. You got a Freya ult that you're trying to shoot out, defense matrix. Literally any projectile you want, defense matrix. It does not matter. So, again, it's such a good ability, and sometimes the meta literally just revolves around whether that ability gets nerfed or buffed, right? So now, as we can see, clearly it's in a state where both teams love to run the Diva, and I think that should speak for itself and what state Defense Matrix is currently in as the beat drop goes down, as we look to supports on the other side, as Redx and company trying to man their way through this Kitsune rush, but they will not be able to do so. With Juice down, the team's going to have to take a little bit of a back step as they're going to forfeit some potential meters here over to Bellevue, unless Tread can hold.
Yeah, and this is what it's gonna come down to here for this point, is this move here. If Bellevue can break through, they're gonna take this point. If St. Clair can somehow hold it on a little bit longer, it's only 36 seconds left to hold it. So if they can hold this, they can win this, but it's very, very close, 1.87 meters, and Bellevue is putting all the pressure on, using the Diva ult there as well to try and blow some room for themselves. But this is just an absolute mess on point to try and have either team take control here. 14 seconds, 13 seconds, 12, and they are running out of time. St. Clair just has to hold this off a little bit longer, and this is a high pressure moment. The pressure is on with such a small amount of distance between them, but it is going to come down to 1 second, and this will go into overtime. Who will it be to take this over? It looks like St. Clair is going to be taking control here. Can anything come out of this, or is this going to be St. Clair's game to win?
Think we have our answer right there. It's going to be St. Clair taking it in 3-0 fashion. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of knew that this was going to happen the second I saw that Alex had a Kitsune Rush in pocket. Meanwhile, literally all ults on Bellevue burnt out, none over 40%. So they did not have a chance in that final push. It was ultimately just going to be a factor of time until Alex was like, hey, you know what? I got this alt button here, this win button. When do I want to press it? So the second that gets done, St. Clair end up taking the victory, and man, they looked absolutely dominant tonight, Evan.
Bellevue, that first initial push gets stalled out immediately. I think once we saw that, at least in my head, I had said, that's the moment. Like, this is the TSN turning point right here, when St. Clair just completely flips the script and runs it down, and that's exactly what they were able to do. Really, really strong performance on defense. Great plays from Tread and Juice, specifically in the big moments near the end to find those final picks and get it done when it needed to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that St. Clair, again, I pointed out earlier, does so well, is, again, just situations, realizing situations when you know you can read the other team and what ults they have on paper, right? And they're so good at just pulling back, staying disciplined, no overextension, and just hitting them with the counter pressure. It really is just punch, counter punch, and in a game of counter picks, counter punches, St. Clair, they just simply do it better.
No, they did it better. And I mean, when you look at the team comp for Bellevue as well, you know, we saw a lot of copycat comms come in. You know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And it was working. I mean, we saw how effective that was on Hollywood, but I think the Saints were a bit wiser to it on Rialto and were able to just tweak things a little bit and just diff in this case. And that was what led to this victory. I mean, Zero, I mean, you were breaking it down in the moment. Great series as well. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are I was wrong.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, no, they just got rolled. Shoutouts to Tread, by the way. He's just walking out of the side room right here for having my play of the night, which was earlier in Hollywood. I know you're looking at me right now. It was when your Sojourn Juice was getting pulse bombed, and it was mid slide too. Like honestly, Stone hit an insane pulse bomb on a Sojourn and Juice mid slide, and you just flicked over bubble, and it just completely negates everything. From Stone there and Bellevue. Really good plays and really good reaction timeout from Tread as GG's all around. 3-0 sweep though, and by the looks of it, the man looks unfazed as if it was just another smooth day in the office.
Just another day at the office for the Saints, and we're going to break it down just a little bit more with one of the stars of the team. It's going to be Razor in our post-game interview. We're going to get to see his reaction, pick his brain a little bit about what just happened. Get some set. Just wait for the setup, and there he is, Razor. Welcome to the show. Great series all around for you guys. How does it feel?
It feels good. We got it done 3-0. Didn't drop a map like we did last time, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really solid performance. I mean, talk me through what happened on Hollywood there. I mean, we were sort of shocked at the result there. I mean, Bellevue was having such a great hold, and then all of a sudden you guys just find a way to win and salvage it from the jaws of defeat. Just kind of walk us through what happened there.
On our second offense, we kind of just needed to get ults out of them and then go in with our ults. So there was, I think the fight, they popped Beat and Kitsu, and then we were coming up on all of our ults. We're like, okay, we know we win now. Just pop our ults and be human, and we're good. And that's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Razor, we saw you a lot on the Reaper today, right? And it just seemed like Bellevue, they didn't really have an answer for when you are Reaper and they have the Zarya bubble just on you as well. It's one of two things, right? Feed our Zarya charge or just die with me close up in your face. When you have a tank like Tread who can really support you like that and just with your team all around who seem to always just be in the right positions at the right time, your spatial awareness of this team is truly insane. Does that take a lot of pressure off of you to just allow you to do your job and always know you have that support?
Yeah, I mean, Tread's obviously like probably our best player. He's on Gen G. So, I mean, I'm just on Reaper. I'm like, okay, I'm TP in 3, 2, 1, bubble me. And then I'll randomly get a kill, or I'll force so much value that our entire team just walks main and he just has 100 charge beaming down the entire team. So my job is pretty easy.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick look at some stats here from these matches. That was very good gameplay all around. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the interview. Oh, okay, sweet.
I mean, look at that. What, 26-0 with an assist? Is he the GOAT?
Absolutely.
Yes. I was going to say,
I definitely
sorry, Jack, I don't
so.
know if you can see it right now, but we're just taking a look at your stats right now as you are the MVP.
Ooh, let's
well earned as now.
He's excited.
Yeah, exactly. As now you take home the W, take home an MVP, all is good. You're on the Triple Crown. Get it done in 3-0 fashion. So well done here as you're looking forward to next week's opponent and many more to come after that. As we can just actually see who is that going to be real quick. If you can just pull that up.
Stop putting pressure on me.
Let me see
to
here.
pull this up.
It's going to be
Grandview.
Grandview. What do you think about them? If you can give us some insight on what that matchup could look like next week.
Honestly, I don't want to have an ego and say it, but I don't really know who's on their team.
Good.
And we beat Cumberland, we beat Bellevue, and the only team we're worried about now is ISU. So I expect to 3 everyone else.
I mean, there you go. If it's just nothing burgers, it's nothing burgers.
The confidence is there. The confidence is there.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here, joining us on the desk, Razor. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
Of course, guys. You too.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the win. That's going to now do it for us, isn't it, Evan?
I think so. I mean, unless Prod is telling me to do anything else besides our sponsor segment, which we'll get to in a brief moment. But I think you're right, Smoke. I think that is going to do it. Gentlemen, just quickly, 250 words or less, give me your final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think St. Clair, when they're diving through with all people in perfect prime position, their understanding of spatial awareness and discipline is what puts them over top of pretty much every team so far. So test against ISU for the last week, definitely going to be one to look out for. But until then, should be smooth sailing.
I think I underestimated just how good these guys are. When I was told that both teams had top 500 players, I said, oh, maybe this will be a bit closer than we think. I mean, I know St. Clair is good, but maybe it'll be closer than expected. But no, it was a clean and thorough sweep from St. Clair. I guess that is the difference, the grift diff here of having some pro players on the team. So yeah, I, as per usual, end up eating my words, but will I change my ways? Absolutely not. I will still continue to believe in underdogs and keep saying that the 3-1 is possible.
Business as usual for St. Clair, as per usual, but that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get through our sponsor segment real quick. Tim Hortons, Subway, the St. Clair SRC, the St. Clair Alumni Association, Onezo, Pre-Fire. I believe that's it. I did say Alienware, Smoke, did I? Yes, I believe so.
I believe.
If not,
you
then we'll
just did
say
it right
Alienware
there.
again. We'll give him a second time.
Why
and
not?
Why not? And what do we say?
Thank you, sponsors.
You guys keep the lights on it here. And again, let's give a shout out to everybody in the back room. I mean, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today. We got Owen in the back room, Adam, Adrian, Carl, Hayden, anybody else that I might be forgetting. MJ's been around somewhere. Wallace is here. Thank you, Wallace, for reminding me that you were here. Everybody deservedly gets a shout out, all equal for everybody. So you guys make it all happen for us. Thank you very much. This is my right. I don't know. I don't know why they're trying to troll me right now, but I think it is time to end the show here. So we're gonna do it right now before anything else happens. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, and have a great night.
Favor, no more than calamity though. 11 and 5, he'll be shut down. The rotation was for Cumberland, but St. Clair breaks the Situation now 1-on-1, 1 HP on this solo. 1 bullet is a 4-person 1v5. Stand against the random.
A guy to this ball, guy to get down, maybe even get one for the road.
Our own standards here in this overtime period because if we concede a goal, it's over for them.
He's doing a lot of damage, but he's got to keep you over. He avoids Ego. Bob Waena, no flash, no problem. St. Clair.